There's something a lot of podcasts fail to do, or fail to do right. What is it? Keep listening to find out. You're listening to Practical Podcast Tips. My name's Eric Beals, and today I'm going to cover tip number 5, one of the most important things many podcasts don't do. There's a very important key item you should be doing on your podcast, and that's your CTA. Now, what is a CTA? CTA stands for call to action. Basically, what that is really telling your audience what you want them to do. And that could be a multitude of a bunch of different things. It could be sharing an episode. It could be downloading something. It could be writing a review. A lot of podcasts don't necessarily do this, and you really should always have one. You might see a CTA on a lot of commercial ads. For example, any commercial you watch on television will usually have, call my services today at 1-800 buy my product or whatever it might be. That's a call to action. Now that's the more straightforward and blunt one, where it's straight to a sale in that case. But a CTA doesn't always have to be straight to a sale. It really all depends on your goal and mission. When coming up with that goal, think of what your current mission might be for it. For example, in my case here, this is one of my first episodes. So my current goal right now is just to share this podcast, just to get this out. This call to action, depending on when you're listening to this episode, that call to action might change. So actually, I encourage you to come back to this episode in about 6 months or so, maybe even sooner than that, 3 to 6 months, and see if that call to action has changed. On my end, I have the ability to switch that out. That'll be a episode for a different day. But right now, my main call to action at the time of this recording is just to share this episode and get exposure to this podcast. And I don't even mean just sharing just willy-nilly. What I want people to do is share it with somebody who's actually going to get value out of it. That's my biggest thing, is people getting value out of my content. I don't care to just share it to anybody. I want people who are looking to start a podcast and looking for ways to improve upon their podcasts. Real just simple ways to do it. There's a lot of real simple things that can be done. So now maybe you're not looking for growth. Maybe your podcast is already really grown to a pretty large amount. Maybe it's now making sales. So what can you do to get your audience into a sales funnel to provide them value? Always keep value at top of mind in your CTA. But also one thing to keep in mind as well is don't do too many call to actions. Keep one thing top of mind for your audience to do and keep it very, very simple. Don't have them do a bunch of different things. Don't have them review and share and download my thing. Just stick with one of those things. Then later, either switch that call to action out with something else when you don't need that many things. For example, if you're looking to build reviews on your podcast, get 30, 40, 50 reviews and then move on to something else. So make sure you have a CTA for your podcast of some kind, and make sure you keep it simple and very easy to do for your audience. All right, that's it for today. See you in the next episode. Hey, thanks for listening. If you liked this episode, feel free to leave us a review. I'd love to hear how it helped. Also, if you know somebody else that could benefit from it, go ahead and share it with them. Thanks again, and see you in the next episode.